Oh yeah, I got my microphone turned off. Obviously. Welcome to this very first stream on YouTube and Pump Farm simultaneously. Let's see how this is going to work and if I can manage that. First of all, welcome to my YouTube audience. I know I neglected you for months and months and months, and I'm very sorry. And I'm very happy about everybody who sees this. If you're tuning back in, I know who you are. I know a few of you may be watching this. I would be very happy to see some of you commenting, some of you maybe writing in the chat if you catch this live. And then a very warm welcome to the audience on Pump Farm. Yeah, let's go through these things a bit. We'll talk about things I talked about the last day as well a little bit here on the Pump Farm stream, but I just want to reiterate a little bit, go into these things and also talk about this for the YouTube stream. On YouTube, if you're wondering where I've been for ages and why I'm here now and what is going on and what will happen next, stay tuned. We'll talk about that in the stream, probably towards the end. But yeah, first of all, let's jump right into the chart, into the Bitcoin chart, I would say. Let me figure out my StreamYard. How do I do this? I haven't streamed on StreamYard in ages. And as for the Pump Fund project, we'll talk about Pump Fund as well. So this is also whole topics that I will get into a bit more depth. I also show a bit of the interview with the one dev from Pump Fund, which I very love because he goes very in depth into the vision of Pump Fund, what he sees in the future. Because right now it's basically crazy crypto speculation and not really, at least I think, not really sustainable. But we'll talk about that pretty soon. But for now, let's jump into here and let me put myself down there. All right, that's better. Yeah, you just have to deal with the yellow box. I like the yellow box where it is, so there it stays. All right, now let's get into this chart. And I'll need to look to the side here because this is where my screen is. So you can admire me from the side. Anyway, I talked about this yesterday, I believe, already here on Pump Fund, but let's look into this again because this is very important for all of you to have, just to have it on top of your mind. Obviously, everything can happen at every time. The crypto cycle can go on for ages, who knows? But this, you should be very aware of this at the point in time we are at right now. Because if we look at the cycle, forget the green lines, they are not important. What is important are the yellow lines here, the vertical ones. So the vertical yellow lines are the Bitcoin halvings. When did the halvings happen? And right here, the second yellow line, let's make it a different color actually, so you can see it better. Let's make it pink. This is, well, the cycle top. I did not really put it in here, but it's here as well. Here we go, cycle top. All right, and if you see here, 2 cycles ago, from the halving to the cycle top, it took 518 days. So I just want you to keep that in mind because we want to look at the timeline here, the historical timeline. Obviously, the history is not that long, so we don't have that much to go off of. But what we have to go off of, we'll look into. So let's take it with a grain of salt, but we still should use this information and be wary of where we are at in time. So if we look at the last cycle, from the halving to the cycle top, we had 549 days. So this is roughly 30 days more, 31 to be exact. But yeah, it's still the same ballpark, right? It's pretty close till the cycle top. So where are we at right now? Here we had the halving. And I just took a bit more days right here, 50 more days, give or take, because I just estimate that the day span gets a bit longer, but right in that ballpark. Puts us from the halving to the cycle top around the beginning of December. So let's say beginning of December, or let's say mid of November till mid of December. This may be our Bitcoin cycle top. Now, let me be very clear here. Let me be very clear. I say Bitcoin cycle top, not crypto cycle top. For now, we are just talking about Bitcoin cycle top. And if we go by history and how this has looked like so far. So I just want you to all be very aware of that because this is the point in time we are at right now, that from mid-November till mid-December, historically speaking, we would expect the Bitcoin cycle to top out. So Bitcoin hitting its top price and then only going downhill from there. probably with a very strong bear market hitting beginning of next year. Just if we look at this chart at the last 2 cycles, what happened, right? I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying this will happen for sure. All I'm saying is this is what happened the last 2 cycles. So be aware that this maybe also can happen this cycle. There's a possibility. Maybe it's even a probability. I just want to be aware of that. I'm definitely aware of that. And if you have not taken any profits so far, maybe you should start thinking about taking profits. Now, you also should be aware, obviously, that the craziest moves usually happen at the end of the cycle, right? The craziest moves usually happen at the end, like the last push, whatever, also for the altcoins. And if we look at Bitcoin Cycle Top, and this is very important, by the way, I completely forgot to change my rundown here. All right, now it's better. Now the BTC chart is in green. Yeah, let me get back into streaming, okay? I'm slowly getting used to it again. I think I will have plenty of time to get used to it again in the coming weeks. So anyway, where was I? This just threw me off so much, my God. Yeah, so what I was saying is Bitcoin Cycle Top does not mean crypto cycle top, okay? I already mentioned that. So when Bitcoin tops out, the altcoins probably will keep running, historically speaking. But obviously not all of them. There are altcoins who have topped out already, most likely. There are altcoins that will top out after Bitcoin. So you just need to be aware that from mid of November till mid of December, you probably should latest start taking some profits. I personally, now obviously I cannot give you any financial advice or whatever. I also just making educated guesses, maybe not that much of an education. I don't know. You decide that for yourself. If you think what I say is valuable or not, I'm just trying my best here, as we all do, right? As we all do. So I already took some profits. This is what I wanted to say. Obviously, I have been taking profits basically all year long. Like some here, some there, shifted a bit of stuff over to some other stuff. Yeah, because obviously some coins will run and then they will just fall down and then you take profits and rotate it into the next coin. So yeah, if you have not taken profits the last year, what are you even doing? You need to be very, and this is, I need to look you in the eye for that. Because if you are the person who has not taken any profits yet and just jumps from project to project to project and expect prices to go higher and higher and higher, you will likely end up with nothing, right? Because you will always think prices will go higher, it will keep going forever, but no, it will not. At one point, it will crash. At one point, it all will go down and you will be caught, I don't know how to say it in English, with your pants down. Is that also a phrase in English? You will be caught with your pants down. So please be careful and always think about taking some profits. You want to rotate something in stable coins into your currency, whatever it is. Maybe put something into an or world ETF for long-term, really long-term investment. I don't know, maybe this sounds ridiculous for some of you. But just diversify and always be mindful of taking profits. Which leads me into our next topic. Unless you have any questions about the Bitcoin chart. If you have any questions about the Bitcoin chart, you can ask them in the chat, obviously all the time. Put them in the comments. No, I would not call myself a chart guy, at least not a good one at that. I look at the charts, I maybe see some things. I mean, you see what I maybe see. I don't think it's much of a rocket science what I'm talking about here. It's just, what color was that? This one, right? Yeah, this one. It's just, looking at patterns and what happened in history. And this is just what I talk about. And sometimes other things as well. If you really want to look at chart guys, join Crypto Lifer. He is probably one of the best chart guys I know. So anyway, and that much for Bitcoin. Now let's jump into pump fund and why I think this might be a little bit of a top signal. What is happening right now? First of all, let me figure out how I stop sharing this screen here. Do I just click here? Oh yeah, there we go. All right, I managed to do it. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about pump fund. So first of all, why did I stop sharing my screen? I'm an idiot. Let's go back here because I can just go into the pump fund chart here for you all to look at. What is even the ticker? Is it pump? Oh yeah, there it is. Now, this is a monthly chart, so don't freak out. Let's go into the 4-hour. All right. Now, the pump fund chart, like this is good. What this? Again, I'm not a chart guy. I have no idea what I'm talking about, okay? But from my limited understanding of what I want to see in the charts, I like that. I really like that because this is consolidation. And if something just goes up crazy forever, it will come down very hard. This is usually how it happens. So I actually like to see some consolidation here. I like to see that. But yeah, what I really want to talk about with pump fund is the state it is in right now. If we look at pump fund right now, it has gone absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers, and people are making thousands and thousands and thousands on pump fund. By the way, I have a coin on pump fund as well, so let's talk about that first. Let's just a few words about that. The Wiese coin that the people who are joining me on pump fund are seeing. My plan with that is to make it, for lack of a better term, is to make it a charity coin. I want to make it a community-driven project where I will use the profits to do something good in the world. Maybe I'll donate it to some charities, but the real main goal is to build my own or our own charity, however you want to call it. Now, I will also do some challenges like cleanup challenges, clean up a forest, clean up a beach, like collecting garbage, rubbish, things like that. If you have suggestions for that, let me know in the chat. And this brings me also to a very important point with pump fund here, because if you look at it right now, there are meme coins launching, streamers going on, they're making a bunch of money with a coin that then just crashes again. And this just repeats as a cycle. Coin goes up, people pour in money, streamer takes out money, some people gain money, coin crashes, that's it, next coin launches. Obviously, like a blind idiot sees that this can never, ever be sustainable. It just will not be sustainable. So this is why I am really highly leaning on building something sustainable that with very, very long-term vision. Like this right now is just the very, very early start, and maybe pump fund fails and all will fail and who knows, right? But for now, I found this to be a very good platform to start this project. Now, what makes me very bullish on pump fund or very excited for the future of it is if we listen to one of the co-founders, and I just want to play something here. Where can I? Oh, I need to go here, and then I can put in a new tab. Okay, that's good. All right, I found it, I believe. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is like an interview with the co-founder of Pump Fund, and what he says makes me very excited about the platform because they have he has a very big vision. I need to preface that I like his words, right? I don't know them. I think it's a bit strange that he sounds. I understand that this is some form of meme or thing or whatever. I don't know if he shows his face somewhere else. I'm always wary of people who don't show their faces, especially if they want to be founders of something very big. I believe the other ones have shown their face beforehand. Like I haven't looked into this too much. I just saw this interview, looked into it a little bit, but what he says in the interview I really like. So let's listen to this. I hope you can hear that. Right. It's not loading. Obviously, it's not loading. Always problems if you're streaming, right? Let's just turn down the quality. If it doesn't load, I'll just paraphrase what he said.
So you just launched this Dynamic Fees V1, and it's.
I hope you can hear that. If you cannot hear that, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just let the video play. And it will be very embarrassing for me because we will just sit here in silence. Please spare us all this embarrassment and let me know if you cannot hear the video.
This tiered creator fee structure on PumpSwap, where the tiers are by market cap, and the higher market cap coins have this lower creator fee. So describe a little bit more the problems that you're seeing that you were trying to solve with this new structure.
Yeah, so I think that's sort of And sort of a deeper question, which I want to answer is like Pump Fun is we don't want. I mean, okay, look, it's obviously a crypto company right now, but our long-term ambitions for this company is we don't want to be a crypto company, and I think we sort of made that clear in our sort of. I mean, we do obviously want to cater towards the sort of crypto native users and sort of continue growing that out and everything, but we want to become a company which has an impact globally, right? Either through the
So let's pause it for a second, because what he just said there is amazing, because he has a real vision for that, right? He is not just, okay, let's pump coins up and people come on here and make a bunch of money and it's about meme coins and people pour on money. This is not sustainable, like I said. There's only so much money that can be poured into coins. And new Twitch streamers are coming in right now, and they bring their community, and the community brings in more money, and it can go up higher for a while, but at one point there will not be enough money that people can pump into coins, and it will just collapse, right? So what he says right there, I really love that, because he says he doesn't want it to be a sole crypto company. Obviously, you want to cater to crypto native people. Pump Fund is the very first social media, crypto native social media that has a lot of traction and a lot of users, and has really a shot at becoming mainstream. And this is amazing. The very first crypto social media platform that has a shot at becoming actually mainstream. This is like the best thing that can happen for crypto. And this is also why I'm streaming here right now on Pump Fun. And by the way, for the YouTube folks, just to mention that, I maybe continue streaming on YouTube every now and then, but I want this YouTube channel to be for something different. I will mainly keep streaming on Pump Fun. So you maybe want to watch me over there. I will put a link in the descriptions and stuff like that. I will also make some streams on YouTube still, maybe, but I need to see how much time I got, right? I mean, I have stuff to do. I'm working for an animal charity. This is also why I'm making a charity coin basically on Pump Fun. I want to do good in the world, and this is what I'm busy with. So I cannot stream 24/7 all day long, but I will try my best. Anyway, let's go back to Pump Fun and what he is saying, which I really love.
That sort of through financial means or through sort of social means, which is really what we're sort of working on. And if you look at the sort of leading social media platforms of today, like Instagram, Twitter, I mean, Twitch, I guess you could arguably also say is like a social platform, TikTok, all that sort of stuff, is all these sort of platforms work for sort of one main reason, and that's because they reward the creators, right? And they reward the creators to continue to sort of produce content, just like YouTube as well. And our thesis was always to win this game, or to win like globally with the best possible product, you have to build a product which is not just like 2x better, 3x better, but like 100x better. And that was the idea with these sort of creator fees, that we would heavily incentivize sort of content creators on the platform to one, just start creating content in general, and then two, be rewarded for it a lot more than anywhere else. And I think it's been really interesting to.
All right, let's make a break here, because I think what he says is obviously very interesting, but there are also a few maybe misguided thoughts in there. Maybe he didn't fully think that through. Yes, you want to build a better product. This is an amazing vision. He wants to build a product that is 1,000 times better than the other platforms, which is obviously an ambitious idea. And he says the creator fees are so amazing because people can earn a lot more money a lot faster. And that is true for the beginning of Pump Fun right now. Like you see streams blowing off left and right. And by the way, obviously, it's a little bit of luck involved. And actually, there's probably a lot of luck involved. Which stream gets watched, which stream doesn't, which coin gets bought, which doesn't. If you have a community, obviously, that's good for you. But again, this is not sustainable in that way. Like there will not be a million creators onboarding every year who blow up like that and earn thousands and thousands of dollars. This is just not going to happen. At least I don't think so. Prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong, but this way it's going right now, I don't see it to be sustainable. There need to be other mechanisms. There need to be other things implemented to keep this sustainable and growing. Right now, it's amazing. It's an amazing growth phase. It's amazing to lure in new users, to generate a really great user base, also get in people outside of crypto, which is what we all want. You want that. You want that. You want that, and even you behind there in the back, you who pretends that you don't want it, also you want that, and me. We all want new people in crypto. Everybody, every single person who holds crypto has an interest in new people joining into crypto. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. And Pump Fund has a real potential, a real shot at doing this to a very, very big degree. So I really love that, but they also need to really step up their game and build the platform in a way that is more sustainable. Right now, it's an amazing hyper-growth phase because people can really earn a lot of money. But again, I don't see that sustainable. But I think they are aware of that. But the way he just phrased it right now is like, it sounds like he expects creators also in the next 10, 50 years to just onboard, make streams and earn thousands and thousands of dollars just from nowhere. And this just ain't going to happen because everything is saturated at one point, and the way Pump Fund is growing, it's going to be saturated probably reasonably fast. At least this is my educated guess about it. Please always make up your own opinion. Don't just listen to me. Also think things through for yourself.
To see like just the statistics that I've been sort of looking at over the past couple of days, like streaming has sort of gone through the roof, like DMs, which is obviously prevalent on the mobile app, also sort of just like going up in like a sort of a direct line upwards. I think it sort of speaks very, like, again, like if you actually go on Pump Fund right now and you look at some of these streamers, like I was looking at past couple of days, like people who've been streaming for like 12 minutes and have made like $150, right? Which like that isn't that much, but if you think about it, like
quick break here, full transparency. When I launched the coin, I put like $200 or something in there. Probably people just saw, oh, there's liquidity in a coin, and they went on it. And in Pump From, you get fees if people trade your coin. So I made, I think, about $360. Like just from, I didn't even start streaming yet, and the money just kept pouring in. So, but obviously the people pulled out the money really fast because it was just a quick hype grab. I made some money off of that, which is great. I put $100 of that back into the coin because, again, I want to build a sustainable project here. The rest I basically took because as creator fees. So I am at a basically round about zero, which is good. The rest will stay in the coin. And if I gain more creator fees at one point, I will always put a portion of that back in the coin. So the coin will act as the treasury for the things that we are going to build together here. A community-driven project to do good in the world in a sustainable way. Maybe you can say it like that. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know how much money I made. So, and this was not even from streaming because right now nobody watches these streams here. Like a few people. I appreciate every single one of you being here. I hope what I say is of value to you. I guess so. Otherwise, you would just turn off. But yeah, I believe we will grow because, again, I am thinking very, very long term. And this is also why I cannot stream on YouTube anymore, all YouTube folks, because a Pump Fund stream can just be more casual. I don't need to prepare that much. I will go on to AI stuff in a moment. I know the YouTube folks are all waiting for the AI stuff because this is what I talked about on the channel, and we'll talk about a few things, so no worries. But I cannot do these in-depth researches anymore because it just took a whole day to prepare stream and then stream, and I don't have that time anymore. I just don't. Also to make new videos in that regard. So this is why I think Pump Fund is a very great opportunity because I can just be much more casual. And my streams on Pump Fund also will be much more casual. I will talk about crypto, obviously. I will talk about AI stuff as well, because these are just my interests. But this is exactly what the stream on Pump Fund is going to be. I will talk about my interests in a hope to benefit you. Another interest is self-development that I will bring into the stream also a lot, because self-development is kind of a passion of mine since basically ever. And there are many things that overlap very good with crypto and making money and AI and where the world is heading right now. So I think there's a beautiful synergy that I will try to bring together in the streams. And obviously, I will always talk about the project, what I'm actually building here, and what we are going to do together. I will do challenges again. I will do rubbish collection. I will do forest cleanup, nature cleanup, things like that. So yeah, all YouTubers, if you want to keep watching me, if you want to watch streams of me, you will have the link to PumpFund. The coin is just called Wiese, so that's Wiese. And also PumpFund people, if you want to watch my YouTube videos, my YouTube channel is called Wiese Technology. So Wiese Technology. Yeah. I think I wanted to go somewhere with this, but I forgot. So let's just continue watching what he says.
This is with like 10 viewers, 15 viewers, and this money is just sort of flowing in. And this is like, I believe, like quite literally like a 100x better product than what's sort of out there in the sort of traditional sort of world, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, good. This was that. There was another clip that I wanted to show you right around somewhere around here.
And because all this sort of like market share debates and I can get my revenue up to like $3 million a day, $5 million a day, like that to me, that's not a success. Like that's not what we're here for. And I don't think that's what anyone working at the sort of PumpFund development co is either. Like everyone here, like working with us, we want to create a company which can have an impact which hasn't been seen before in crypto, right? And I think if you look at these companies, even at the largest ones, like sort of Coinbase and sort of Binance and obviously sort of OKX and all these centralized exchanges and then the largest decentralized exchanges, for me, these companies are all failures. Like I don't think a single one of them really has like an impact globally, which makes a difference, right? Like you.
So this is obviously a big statement, calling Binance, Coinbase and things like that a failure. But what he meant is these companies are crypto companies. They are for crypto people. No one really outside of crypto cares that much about them. And this is exactly what he doesn't want for PumpFund. And the way PumpFund is going, I can see how he can steer PumpFund towards that direction. That also people outside of crypto care about it, like I just said before.
Look at this. You look at sort of Coinbase, for example. Like they built a Bitcoin wallet. That's all they did. Like the product hasn't really changed since sort of day one. And I think when looking at like a success case, you should be looking at companies which really truly like generationally change the world. You look at like Apple. You look at sort of all these sort of different social media stuff, which like every single person is using like hours upon hours a day. Or you with maybe your laptop, which you're using now, watching this podcast on, or your iPhone, you're watching this podcast on. You want to look at companies like that, and I just really want to stay away from this whole sort of crypto stuff because, like again, it's nice to look into it and it obviously sort of helps with like moving the needle on small numbers. But like we're super young. Like I'm 21 years old, and my co-founders also 21 and so 22, 23. And I think like we want to be working on this for like decades to come, and really.
So this is a huge statement. They are planning to work on this for decades to come. Now. This is amazing at one side, and at the other side, we also need to be wary about this here. Of course, we always need to be wary about things and try to understand what he's just saying there and what the implications of that are. So he's thinking globally. He is thinking much bigger than crypto. He sees crypto right now as a good thing to move the needle forward, to get in numbers, which crypto is doing because people are going crazy. They're making money with crypto, with some stupid coins and things like that. Probably a lot of coins are cool that are being launched here. I don't want to talk down to anyone, but a lot of coins here are also probably shit. So anyway, he doesn't really see that as that much of a relevancy because he thinks so much bigger. He thinks in terms of decades. And this is the kind of thinking that I gravitate towards because I also think in terms of decades, right? YouTube people, the YouTube channel, right? At one point, there will be regular videos anymore. Like I already thought ahead, this YouTube channel, it's all designed in a way that maybe at one point you will see a different host on this YouTube channel, not me. And maybe I will just be there for interviews or whatever. We'll see, because I also think in decades with what I'm trying to build. And I'm building like piece by piece by piece till the vision comes together. And he's also thinking in decades. Obviously, he has much more capital, much more time, and much more power behind that. But one thing we want to be very, very of is that what he just said. He said, we are super young. We are like 22, 23, right? Which is good because they have a really great time horizon and they are ambitious and they want to achieve things. But I don't know them. I have no idea. What I'm saying is just in general. But what I would say if I hear this, what my first thoughts are if I hear this, and maybe you have the same thoughts, is, okay, they probably lack a little bit of experience and they don't really know what it means to think in decades, to talk about the commitments they are talking about right now, right? Because they are super young, they don't have the experience. They think, yes, this is amazing, it's going super well, but right now we are still in a bull market. Like things are amazing, they are going up, it's crazy. Let them stay through the first bear market, okay? Let them stay through the first bear market. Let them see some hardship. Let them see a lot of troubles and problems. And when they go through that and they are still hyped just the same way, they still have the same ambition, they are still talking in the same way, then I personally am very, very convinced. Like right now, I am cautiously optimistic. But yeah, you always want to be a little bit cautious. All right. I believe that was all that I wanted to show you.
And really have like an impact. So our thought, and this has been since the start of, like, we didn't even set out to like create this to be sort of found like a crypto native company. It was more so like, how do we just create a company which has like a global impact? And that's really what I want to stress on, and not like, oh, are we going to build another decentralized perpetual futures exchange? Are we going to build like another stable coin and all this other stuff, which like obviously we're going to do, right? Because it's like, why would you not do this if you have a good product? But the question should be, how can you like change the world? And I think that's really what we're focused on. So yeah.
Well, so actually when
changing the world, big statement. Obviously, this is basically also my statement. I want to change the world, right? Maybe sounds naive from a perspective of almost everybody who is not in my head, who is not in his head. Maybe that's also why I gravitated so much towards Pump, because how he talks is a little bit how I think about what I, obviously in a much smaller scale right now, but like changing the world, yeah. As ridiculous as it sounds, but I resonate very, very strongly with that. So to sum it up, let's talk about top signals here, because what is happening right now in Pump is crazy. A lot of people coming in, and a lot of non-native crypto people are coming in. It's really going bananas. Some OGs of the channel will remember the bananas. So what are common top signals? How do we know that crypto has topped? Well, one thing is that projects are starting to explode like really ridiculously, just like ridiculously, and projects have exploded ridiculously, and Pump is on its best way to do so. I mean, it basically already, you see this here, and then went down. Let's just measure that. Like from the start of the Congress all the way down here to the top, which was here, it's like 784%. Now, this is a little bit of consolidation. I fully expect this to go like higher. Obviously, it can also crash. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I speculate on it. This is another thing. You should always be aware that crypto is speculation, not investment. It's speculation, maybe speculative investment, but definitely speculation. Now, from here to here, we have like 246%. So another top signal is when everybody starts talking about crypto. Did you already receive messages from a friend, from someone you haven't talked to in ages, from someone who has nothing to do with crypto, but you know them and they know you know about crypto? Have you already received messages from them where they ask you, hey, should I buy this now? Is now a good time to buy this coin? Should I buy this? Is this a good investment? If you start getting these kind of messages, we are very, very close to the top. Very close to the top. This is probably the most telling top signal, that people who have nothing to do with crypto are starting to talk about crypto and how they get into it. It's basically the same for stocks. Like if you go to your barber and your barber talks about how he just bought the new stock from wherever, like this is a good signal that we are probably due to crashing soon, historically speaking. So let's be aware of that. When it comes to Pump, how it's going crazy right now and how it's onboarding new people, I also am very worried that this might be a first indication of us reaching a top. Do I believe pump fund will go higher? I sure believe that. Do I believe crypto still has a bit of gas in the tank? Sure, I do believe that. But again, beliefs don't really matter if you're confronted with the cold hard facts of a bear market. I should clip that. That was good. Beliefs don't really matter if you're confronted with the cold, hard facts of a bear market. Come on, that was good, wasn't it? I should write that down. No, anyway. So I think the main point I want to make is, again, take profits and be very aware that we might be close to a top and that a bear market, you will think it will go up again, but it won't. You will think there should be some more gas in the tank, but it won't, and it will be over. Yeah, so one thing I wanted to address here is like old projects that didn't really pop off yet. Like there are a lot of old projects from the last cycle that we all thought, or at least people who stuck around from the last cycle thought they should perform better, should go higher. But I also believed that, again, you never can really predict anything. You can just make educated guesses, and this guess turns out to be probably very wrong. Like, I still think projects can go higher, also the old tokens, but we need to see that crypto becomes broader and broader, and that there are just many more projects, many tokens, and that capital is just way more diluted among them, between them. And that the old projects don't freaking matter because people are excited about the new stuff. Look at Pump Fund. Look at what happened with the other coins, with Hyperliquid and things like that. Yeah, so people are generally more excited about that. So this should also be a warning for everybody being in a coin right now and thinking of, oh, I will, if the bear market comes, I will just stick through the bear market and then I will sell that coin in the next bull market. Yeah, that might happen, but your coin might also just fall into the big pit of coins who are forgotten, and just a few holders remain who still hope that it will come and be up at one point. So again, it all points down to one thing: don't forget to take profits. Okay, don't forget to take profits. Do yourself a favor. And if you take profits, be so kind and take a look at the Wiese coin, WIESD on Pump Fund, into the project. And maybe you want to start becoming a supporter as well. I don't even know if I can say something like this. I didn't tell you to buy it, like I just said, look into it, right? I would never tell you to buy anything because you need to be aware that this is a very, very long run and that the Wiese coin probably will not make any sustainable gains for a period. But I will definitely keep working on the whole project. So anyway, now, let's come to the moment at least all the YouTube people have been waiting for, which is having a look into AI. And I will just drop my channel into the or I cannot drop any links, right? Into the Pump Fund chats, and I'll just drop the name. I don't know if the chat disappears because it still is in the chat, but I will just drop it another time if you want to check out my YouTube channel. It's Wiese Technology. And on there, I basically talk about decentralized AI, AI in general. I talked about, I have to say, things like that. Let's just talk a little bit for the Pump Fund people, a few seconds, why decentralized AI is so I want to say important. Let's use the word important. Why is decentralized AI such an important thing? Why do we all want AI to be decentralized? Because if you have one centralized entity that controls the biggest AI model, then this decentralized entity has the power to control the narrative, to control what people talk about, to control what people believe in, to control people's thoughts, basically. You think that sounds dystopian? Oh, yeah, it does. You think it sounds impossible? Oh, no, it does not. Like, how many of you ever used AI instead of Google to research something? Put up your hand. Did you ever use AI instead of Google to research something? If you did, put up your hand. If you did it a lot, put up 2 hands. If you almost don't use Google anymore, but AI, put up a feed as well. Yeah, no, let's not do that. But if there's a centralized entity in control of that, they can, through like very minor things, control the narrative, control what is being talked about, because the AI will not talk about certain stuff anymore. It will just not mention a few things. It will talk a bit more about that, a bit more about this, and you will not even realize that. And this is how you can slowly but surely point the thoughts of the whole population in a direction that you want to point these thoughts towards. Yeah, and this is freaking scary. This is freaking scary. So this is why there are other reasons, but for that, watch some of my videos. There are a few really good ones. This is why we really want AI to be decentralized, because with decentralized AI, you have ideally opposing entities who control what the AI gets fed. So you have one on the far end of the spectrum and one on the other far end of the spectrum, and they will have their own agendas, whatever, and it will neutralize itself in the middle ground. And I don't know how grown up and emotionally mature you are, but if I have realized one thing in my lifetime, then it is that the truth almost always is somewhere in the middle. So this is why we want AI to be decentralized. So there's not one entity, but many small entities who control the AI, who control each other, so that this does not get out of hand. I explain this much better with beautiful pictures and graphics and better examples in some of my videos. So you maybe want to check them out on my channel if you haven't seen them yet. But with that being said, let's talk about my absolute favorite decentralized AI project. And who here from the Pump Fund stream can guess what it is? The YouTube people obviously know it, but who here from the Pump Fund stream can guess it? Obviously, it's FET, or also the ASI Alliance. Well, in the beginning is what SingularityNet, which is part of the ASI Alliance. So let's look into one thing that you all should be using. If you haven't used it, why not? What are you doing? Which is this one. Have you ever used ASI1? This is the AI chatbot by FET. Or, well, for all the YouTube people, everybody who has watched my videos, this is not Hyperon, okay? We will talk about Hyperon and the state in a second, and why we'll talk about that. But this is something different. This is not Hyperon, but this is the first AI chatbot. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Like, you have different models down here. If you look at that, you have ASI1 Mini, ASI1 Social, ASI1 Extended, ASI1 Fast, ASI1 Graph, ASI1 Experimental. Oh, this sounds a bit overwhelming. Well, this is why we have ASI Social. I almost always use this one, because this one automatically chooses which model is best, which model is best for what you want to do. Now, this is not a chatbot like ChatGPT. This is an agentic chatbot. It's based on agents who want to complete tasks that you give it. And this is what I found very useful for it. If you build a project, work on something, I would always use this one more than I would use ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever other chatbots there are. I would always prefer the ASI chatbot here for tasks, for projects, because it's built in an agentic way. And it will actually get the tasks done pretty efficiently, much more efficient than I have seen with ChatGPT, as I made some comparisons. Obviously, make your own comparisons, but I found this one to be very, very good at that. So down here, you can turn on toggle on or toggle off web search. Here you have the agent search. It will automatically search for agents. I am not even logged in, so you can do much stuff here when you really go into there. I don't want to go into all of that, but yeah, just be aware that this ASI1 chatbot exists, and I would highly recommend you check it out. If you are also under the impression that AI should be decentralized, you should be using this chatbot. You should be using it. Why? For the simple reason that we need to support the ASI Alliance. And this is an amazing chatbot that actually works very well, very useful. So you don't have to you don't need to have any FOMO when you use it, and rather want to use ChatGPT. So I can recommend this with a very good conscience, and it helps the ASI Alliance and the development of decentralized AI. So head over there. I hope the YouTube people already know about this chatbot. I'm sorry, I should have talked about it ages ago. But yeah, now you know about it. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to AI and the ASI Alliance is something rather unfortunate, at least in my point of view. Maybe also not. Maybe I'm expecting just too much. But let's look at the state of Hyperon. Everybody who doesn't know Hyperon is basically the ASI approach of SingularityNet and the ASI Alliance. So this is not AI. This is actually supposed to be ASI, Artificial Superintelligence, or let's say AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. So let's call it the closest thing we can come to creating another living being, quote unquote. So it's self-learning, it's self-developing, it has its own internal goals that it strives for, things like that. And obviously it's still under development, and we cannot still do much with it. It's still for developers. So yeah, let's look at that. So yeah, this is a timeline. I hope you can see that. We see here Q4 of 2025 till Q2 of 2026, we get the very first baby Hyperon. So this will probably be the very first thing, the very first AGI that the normal everyday user can use. And the reason I am kind of disappointed is, like, this is, in my best guess, probably when the bear market hits. Like, if they say Q4 2025 till Q2 2026, it will come out Q2 2026. I love to be surprised if it still comes out in Q4 2025, or maybe we get some bull market rest action with that. But I believe, from what I've seen, we should rather look for Q2 2026 when we have the very first baby proto AGI, let's call it. And it's just a baby one, so we'll see how excited we will be about that. Obviously, it's amazing. But yeah, if we look at this timeline, child Hyperon 2027, then adolescent, end of 2027, young adult Hyperon 2028. If we look at this timeline, we can look at maybe something that is actually can actually be called an AGI for the next bull run. And my big problem with that is that nobody really cares about this product. Nobody. Like, it's not even out. And if the bull run is over, no one will care about crypto. Obviously, this is an AI. This is also a crypto project that has the potential to bring in people outside of crypto. But even if it's a superior product, it doesn't really matter because it has no market share. Like, who will use it when it's out? A few people who know about the ASI Alliance, a few thousand, maybe a few 100,000. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to the big players, to ChatGPT, to Gemini, to whatever it is. And we have seen this. The product can be superior. It happens again and again. One example that I love to talk about is the Game Boy. You had a Game Boy when you were a child. I have no idea how old you are, but if you still know the old Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Color, like, oh yeah, my Game Boy now has color, which was amazing and was such an innovation. Or was it? No, it was not. There was a kind of Game Boy that had color long before the Game Boy Color, but nobody used it. It was superior technology, but nobody gave it shit. Why? Because Nintendo, I'm not saying bullshit right now. Game Boy is from Nintendo, or am I an idiot? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But they had the attention on them, right? They had the market share. People used it. And that's why they survived. And the other product just died. You never heard about them again. So it's the same here. It's the same that I see maybe coming here. Obviously, the ASI Alliance is much more than just Hyperon, so that's good. So they have a lot of other things going for them. And the only shot they really have is when Hyperon really hits. And Hyperon is just what the co-founder of Pumpfon says. They want to build something that's not 1-2 times better, but 100 times better. Like then it's noticeable. If Hyperon hits and is really 100 times better than a freaking LLM, then it will gain market share. But it needs to be that good, or people will just don't give a shit. Like they don't care. They don't want to have a conversation with an AGI, proto-AGI that thinks for 10 hours to give them an answer that they can get in ChatGPT more sophisticated in under 5 seconds. Will not happen. So it really needs to be something unique and something much better. Or otherwise, I don't see people caring about Hyperon. So this is why I'm just a little bit bummed out about that. And while we are on here, if you want to hit me up on X, it's just_Philip on X. Follow me. You can always message me. Just message me if you want to. I'm always happy to talk with everybody. So anyway, this is what I wanted to talk about when it comes to AI. All right. Now, if the YouTube people still have any questions, want to know anything, let me know in the comments. We will move into this segment here and just chat and chill a little bit. All right. So this is how the streams probably will go from now on. I don't know if I can manage to really make a daily stream. I will prepare a few things, not too much. I will just talk about the stuff that I see and want to talk about. It will be crypto stuff. It will be AI stuff. I will probably talk about prediction markets next time a little bit, just because I really like polymarket, and prediction markets are basically better than the news. They better predict what happens than the news can. So I think a lot of potential there. So we will always have a rundown like this. I will also include self-development things. Do I have a nice book here? Yes, I have a nice book here. I will definitely talk about this one. If you want to really change your life, if you like, this is straight from the book, but if right now you're on crypto and you think about, oh, I want to make a lot of money. Obviously, we all want to make a lot of money, but you better have a little bit more substance behind that, because your goal cannot be money, right? What do you do when you have the money? Oh, I'll spend it for a vacation at a private jet, whatever. Wow. And then? Oh, I will sip Mai Tais on a beach. Wow. And then? Isn't that enough? I don't know. Do you want to sip Mai Tais on a beach for the next 50 years of your life? I mean, maybe. What do I know? But I would think that most people doing that probably will be very unfulfilled at one point. Maybe it's what you want to do with your life. Who knows? Maybe it is. But you really think about, what does success mean for you? What do you really want to achieve in your life? Like, what do you really want to work towards or want to work on? What do you want to build? What do you really want your life to look like? Because right now you climb the ladder of success with, oh, I want to make a lot of money. And what this book here very clearly states is, and I just paraphrase this right now, many people are climbing the ladder of success for years and years and years, only to learn that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall, right? They climbed the ladder up and then they noticed, wait, it's the wrong wall. I wanted to go over there. Maybe in 10 years you are, I don't know, on 20 years you are 50 and you say, yay, I have a lot of money, but damn, I'm freaking alone. Actually, I wanted a family and I just cared about money. I don't know what it is, right? Just as an example. You want to think about that for yourself. If you have never thought about these things, you really should start doing that, because otherwise you will at one point really fall into a deep hole, which is sometimes also called a midlife crisis, if you haven't figured that out by now. So yeah, just these are things that I will go to talk about, self-development stuff and things like that, because it ties very well into the whole crypto topic, into the crypto news, where the world is going topic, ties well into AI and everything, because damn, AI will bring some tough existential crisis, man. And there are some tough conversations that need to be had. If you look at AI, if you see what AI can be doing, if you see just how fast technology develops, and if you imagine how fast technology will develop in the next 10 years, and then imagine what jobs AI will take, man, there will be some tough conversations. Like universal basic income will be the toughest one to figure out, and we need to figure that out at one point. But we'll chit chat about that as well in the coming days and weeks. So yeah, this is how it's all going to go. Again, I am mainly doing this on PumpFun for the YouTubers, so head over there. I will have the link in the description if you want to see me ramble about random stuff. And what I'm really trying to build here with this coin, with the Wiese token that is now launched on PumpFun, like obviously it's a little bit of a stupid meme right now. We'll see how it all goes. I definitely will keep showing up because the main goal is always to build a community around it. The token is just a nice thing that maybe allows me to do this full time at one point. Who knows? But yeah, what I really want to do, if we look at how everything develops, how uncertain everything is, how crazy people are going and fighting with one another, and everything that's going on and happening, what I really want to build with that, and what I really want to do is to give a bit of clarity, build a bit of clarity, a bit of meaning for people. I just want to basically help with what I just talked about, right? Making sure people figure out for themselves what walls they want to climb with the ladder of success, and also just, steering the world a little bit in a more positive direction. Let's say it like this. Obviously, right now there are, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 people watching. I don't know, so it sounds a little bit ridiculous, but I truly believe that we can create a great movement here that has a positive impact. And this is what I have believed from the very start when I made my very first YouTube video. And this vision has stuck with me for forever. And it's always in my mind, and it's always been on top of my mind, and it has been on top of everything that I've built on YouTube, on wherever, in my coaching business that I still kind of run a little bit on the side. It is there, and I will continue building that. And everybody who is there and sticks around, thank you for that. Thank you for being with me on this journey. And I am sure if we just keep going, if we build something sustainable, we can steer everything, the world, into a slightly better direction for everyone. And this is what the Wiese token is about. And yeah, I think that's basically enough said about that. Yeah, I really need to work on my speech skills, on my spontaneous speech skills. Hi there, Judy. Amazing to see you again after 8 months, 9 months, almost a year. Yes, hi, here I am, randomly back out of nowhere. I don't know if you've seen the whole video. I would highly recommend you watch the whole video. There are a few nice things in there. And for everybody else, I think this is it. I'm sorry, Judy, that you just caught right at the end of the stream. But yeah, watch the replay. I'm sure you'll love it. And maybe I'll also see you soon then on the, at PumpFun streams. You will see, you will learn about that if you watch the replay. And everybody else on PumpFun, everybody else on YouTube, love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your evening. See ya.